Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd of Bish's RV, taking a look at some updated footage on the 21 MML here. This is, I kind of call it the biggest little camper you ever did see. I call it a little bit of a Reno, which is ironic because I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, recording this currently. But it's one of the very few versions of this floor plan, and I think it was the very first version of this floor plan that actually came out with a Murphy bed setup, which some people are going to say is a little superfluous and silly and we don't need it. And to that I say, hey, no sweat. There's definitely a bunch of other builders that make a version of this. But the advantage that it allows this RV is to give you maximum seating space and open living space, still in that smaller, not even under 30 feet, like under, I think, 28 foot tip to tail kind of mark right here. And it creates a big open space. Now, most of the time, you'll probably just leave the bed in the down sleeper position, but if you're gonna have company over, you can put the bed away, and they're not like looking at your mattress, which is, I don't know, there's something weird and kind of creepypasta about that, if you ask me. They consolidated their core, gave it their decor, to give it a nice light, bright look. Carpetless, ventless flooring, super easy cleaning, great if you got a little pet with you, and if you got a big dog, it's gonna get awful cozy and compact in here awful fast. Campsite viewing window, direct facing entertainment, albeit mounted up perhaps a little bit high, and a deceptively good kitchen. The bathroom on this thing also shockingly doesn't suck, but I always try to be fair and share good with bad. I know one of the things that not everybody really loves on this thing right here is that it puts your bathroom right next to the kitchen. And that's actually really true of a lot of RVs, but you don't usually see into the bathroom standing in the kitchen. So maybe that's what throws someone off here. But things like that, trying to share good with bad, being fair with you, that's what we want to do for you at Bish's RV. Help you find your second camper the first time. And if you like that, you appreciate that kind of fair, candid approach, hit that subscribe button. Let's get inside, see if this is the right one for you. When you run into situations like this where it's a floor plan that like tons of different builders make, it actually makes for a really cool, interesting opportunity for a person trying to figure out which RVs are right for them. Because even if you don't like this floor plan, if you look at the 6 or 8 different builders who make this floor plan, by getting the floor plan out of the way and only focusing on the differences from brand A to B to C, it makes for a really cool kind of learning opportunity, you know? So what's Jayfeather bring to the table? Well, up top, we've got a quieter running Coleman Mach air unit. Those things, they cool, I think, pretty effectively. Is it as quiet potentially as like a whisper ducted air system? Not maybe, but it's not terrible. You do have direct facing entertainment, albeit mounted up a little bit high. But with Jayfeathers having a 6.5 foot ceiling, it's not mounted all the way up to the roof, which is nice. And they really focus on a maximized picture window right there. It actually even goes down below the dining table level if you look at that. I'll get that table out of the way in a few minutes here so you can kind of check out some of the details there. I want to point out that next to the dinette, they have maintained a big pantry. That's kind of the traditional, I guess, way of doing this floor plan. Some manufacturers have dabbled with getting that pantry out of there, arguing that there's enough kitchen storage elsewhere, and they expand the living space a little bit. That's the thing. This is basically about as short as you can possibly make an RV that gives us dedicated theater seat, dedicated dining, and a dedicated front bed. Usually, you have to pick one or the other, or you have to go with a Murphy bed. You don't usually get a sofa and a dinette and a bed unless you're getting a Murphy bed in this size of RV. So that's some of the cool stuff it does. Another neat little Jayco feature is their air conditioner vents all can turn and close individually. Not every air ducting system allows for that. It's a more costly system. It's one of those kind of unseen cost benefit, well, I guess maybe not cost benefits, but costing features of a Jayco. Now this you can clearly see. They put the bigger vent fan here in the living room. They have a smaller vent fan in the bathroom. So they put the biggest fan in the biggest room, smaller fan in the smaller room. Kind of makes sense. I know a lot of people really prefer the big fans in the bathroom. I'm among them. But having camped myself, I do happen to know that little 4-inch fart fan in the bathroom is sufficient to kind of get the job done. But I do still prefer the bigger fan, so there's that. Now, they have things like, I think it's like a furnace or something under that dinette bench. So they do not offer any sort of seat swaptions in this floor plan. Like, this is a theater seat and a dinette all the live long day. But what's kind of nice is they do include these little, I call them cupception swivel stands, because it's a cup holder built into a cup holder, which is actually kind of genius in a weird sort of insane way, you know. They've kind of redesigned their Murphy bed a little bit up front this year. This one didn't get touched too much. They have just kind of dressed it up a little bit, though, with the little kind of arch beam at the top. You still technically can see the top of the mattress and the bedding there. And this is what I call a simulated cinema seat. So a lot of people will say, why do I need another sofa in a little camper like this? And I guess the answer is if you either just like the sense of open space or you don't want to look at your bed all day, like you're going to bring guests over and you don't want them to walk in right on top of your bed. This is a way that you can do that. And to kind of show you how it works, I'm going to flip the camera into wide angle lens mode and get my wide body belly up there in front of you to get it done, son. So you may notice the world's distorted a little bit, like you had one too many cold Coors Lights or something. But real quick, let me demo this for you. Now, I do want to mention that you do have a privacy curtain here for the front bed. Actually, here, why just tell you about it when I could just pull it open real quick and give you a quick little demo. I think you generally probably got the idea, but there you go. Now, something that's not as obvious, there is a strut to make this easy up and down. So it is kind of just a drop down, flop down Murphy bed, but it's not super heavy, which is good because they actually fully framed out that bed deck to make this smooth and flat. And that's one of the cool things about this camper. If you don't care about the idea of a Murphy bed, you don't have to use this camper like a Murphy bed. You could just leave the bed down. As long as you stick with the short queen that's included with this, you can still close the slide and never have to put the bed up for transit. Now, some Murphy beds, you have to put them up. Some you have to put them down for transit. You can do whatever you want on this one. It really doesn't matter. Now, I don't have to take my shoes off because my feet hang off the bed when I'm laying on the bed, which is not awesome necessarily. Hey, I always wondered where that switch was. I just found out. You got the Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker lightsaber up there. What color was Anakin's? Was his blue? Was Obi-Wan's green? I can't remember. All I ever thought about was when Obi-Wan hands Luke his father's lightsaber, he fails to mention that he literally went on a murder spree in the Jedi Temple with it. Like, that seems like it would have been a good bit of information to provide, you know? But hey, what do I know? I'm not a Jedi. I'm just an RV nerd. So very easy to put away. It actually, there's a little self-catch right here. And these lift up on the front and then pull in on the back. And voila! There you go. That's all it takes. And if you appreciate these demos, if they're handy for you, hit that little like button or just leave me a note that says, hey, thanks, nerd. Or whatever you want to call me. I don't care. I can take it. Bring it on. Something else I didn't mention while we're looking at the storage here. You see those brown side stands? Actually, that one's open. Let me give you the endoscopy view of this sucker right here. You see how that top actually slides open? Those side stands are storage drawers. And you see the black hockey puck sticking up? That's a wireless charge pad. It's just kind of in there in a funky spot that's kind of difficult for me to get to. They have maintained their double drawer storage down below that. So if you are leaving this always down, like you don't want to use the Murphy sofa, you don't have to like fight with it to get to the storage. You know, it's kind of cool, I think, the way that they did that. Now, working our way over here, let me actually work my way into the theater seat and sit down and give you a little bit of a view of this sucker right here. Because, like, if I stand up and I kind of cheat, it looks like, yeah, ooh, easy looking direct facing entertainment. Now, if I sit back here in the theater seat, this is a more realistic world view of this. I like to put you right in the driver's seat, but it also shows you have some sweet window coverage over on this thing. And these do have blackout roller shades. Well, the big window has a blackout roller shade. That window over there is prepped for a shade. Pretty much all the other windows, generally speaking, will have blackout roller shades. I feel, if I'm going to be picky, some kind of like little accent or indirect light beam under that thing would be cool, but that's just like, I'm really, really struggling for things to I couldn't decide if I want to say critique or criticize, so what came out was moving on. Let's open stuff up and start taking a look at all the storage in the kitchen, shall we? Again, getting that, the table can fold down into a sleeper, certainly, but getting that out of the way, you see the furnace area intake, the power outlets that are down there. And would it be cool if that giant pantry at the bottom of it actually had like one or two big drawers that slid open? I personally think that'd be so super cool. But that's just me. I like it when storage comes to you and you don't have to go digging for the storage. 12-volt DC compressor fridge, really respectable counter space. And Jay Feather, generally speaking, is pretty good about giving us like easy reach appliance outlets, whether it's through a power tower or putting a power outlet somewhere in a wall down closer to countertop space. By the way, behind that stove, there is actually a knife rack holder built right in there. A lot of people used the slots behind stoves as a knife rack for years. What they didn't realize is that a lot of those actually were supposed to be used as like an oven vent, but people were putting knives in them. So RV manufacturers came up with new designs that allowed it to actually be a knife rack. So sometimes it's just funny how truth is stranger than fiction, I suppose. Working our way through here, we do have, I think, a very solid bathroom, but some people really dislike the location and the orientation of the bathroom, and I think it's because the bathroom door opens right next to the kitchen sink. Some people feel like, hey, I don't like to crap where I eat, Jack. Okay, you know what? I get that. I respect that. Shockingly good space around the toilet. You see how they kind of cut that countertop back a little bit? It works, but they also, like if we start over here, and you look at the left side of the screen, they also included some really good storage in this thing overall, at least in my opinion. You're going to get a nice little look at my face behind the camera over here as we work our way around. But double medicine cabinet, you know, about the only thing this bathroom doesn't have is a window, which windows look cool in bathrooms, but how functional are they necessarily? I don't know. Anyway, looking up top there, you can see that my head's definitely in the skylight. I'm a little bit over 6 foot tall, so I definitely have to stand in the shower skylight because the RV is 6.5 foot floor to ceiling. Different RV manufacturers have different height showers. Maybe that's another important factor for you. That's what I mean, though. This is basically the same floor plan that like 10 other RV manufacturers make. So when you run into that, you really get a good chance to cross compare which company builds the RV that you like best, and you get to kind of, you know, weed through them. Checking out road mode here. It is pretty excellent. You can effectively use all the really critical travel stop stuff. Now, just to help demonstrate here for you, I went ahead and threw the Murphy bed back. Well, I set it back down. I didn't throw anything. I'd throw my back out if I tried. But you can use the bed in transit. There's no problem there. About the only thing you really can't use in transit is just the sofa. No, I just realized this is a Norco Exact Slide. And the way this is made, you actually could sit in that sofa while it's retracted. And since the dining's over here on the main floor, that's not a problem. You can work your way through here. You can get to the oven, the sink, the bathroom, everything. This thing absolutely gets an A+ for travel access. Now, different builders, again, make this floor plan sometimes different ways, and not all of them have this level of virtually flawless travel access. So if you appreciate how we help, you know, get you those extra details and show you this thing all closed up, hit that subscribe button, and let's hop outdoors and see what else we got. Now for towing and going, this is something that if you got a later model tow package half ton, usually fits the bill pretty darn well. There can be some exclusions to that, but a general recommendation without qualification, I think half tons will work on this pretty well. Now you might notice this J-Feather has a fiberglass swept nose, and that J-Feather has a fiberglass nose cap. What's the difference? Is it an option? No, it's not an option. Super Slide J-Feathers are 50 amp and have a nose cap. Less than Super Slide J-Feathers, which this is deemed to be, although you could argue that it's in that category, has a fiberglass nose and they're 30 amp. So those are some of the differences there. They both have the same construction. You've got that Magnum truss, plywood decked walkable roof. You've got the double Asdel aluminum framed walls. You've got things like, for 25, they added the slam latch baggage doors with the magnet holdbacks. Those are nice little features. Now, some crowd favorite features like the quick drop stabilizer package that they have going on under this, the heated enclosed underbelly, 200 watts of solar with inverter prep, and an option to add 200 more watts of solar and a 2,000 watt inverter. Those have all remained. They've also continued to use the outside speakers that I'm not personally a big fan of. I harp on that all the time, so I'm going to try to get off that soapbox here so I don't sound like a broken record. They have maintained their 2+3 year warranty. This is, you could argue, one of the best factory warranty coverages out there, although that's an easy peel sticker, as you may have noticed. The Goodyear Endurance radials down here, those are 87 mile an hour rated. By default, they don't have TPMS, but you can get the BM Pro command system, and that actually integrates TPMS directly into it. Now, something that isn't as obvious is behind that rear tire, located nicely under the awning, you do have a gas grill quick connect, a little propane cooker hooker coming off the side right there. So if you want to do some grilling outdoors, but it's kind of drizzly, you still got a decent spot to do it. Now I got to maneuver my way around this sign here. It's funny, they got the Dexter Tow Assist sign in front of the J-Feather that doesn't have Dexter Tow Assist. That was, okay, whatever, we're moving on. Receiver hitch on the back. What if you're gonna be off the pavement? You're gonna be away from a park for a while. What about a generator? Well, it doesn't have onboard generator capacity, but you get yourself a little cargo tray or something like that, and you could bring a generator with you, or a bike rack, or whatever, you know. Now, this is a Norco slide system. It's also a Norco chassis, so not a Lippert chassis. It has, this is the exact slide system, not AccuSlide, by the way. Notice, though, it does have the, stovetop exhaust vent hood built into that, so you are exhausting your hot air outside. The RV does have a 60,000 BTU on-demand water heater, and it's a single sewer outlet. That's one of the nice things about having rear kitchen and rear bath all wombo comboed together. Everything all plumbs together and dumps out in one spot. And just between the sewer hookup and that quick drop stabilizer, you also have a sewer hose caddy tube. That'll help keep your black tank stink away from your lawn chairs so that you don't end up accidentally getting pink eye on anything. And looks like we have a special guest today. Up top on the roof, you can just see kicking over the roof line right there. Well, that's the skylight. That's not the solar panel. I already told you about the solar. I'm a double idiot. Terrific. But again, there's no shortage of floor plans like this out there. It all kind of kicked off with the Grand Design Imagine 22 MLE, but there's a ton of them out there. This is actually my personal favorite couples camping floor plan. I really, really like the Cougar version, but I wouldn't turn my nose up at one of these if you were gonna give it to me, by any stretch of the imagination. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave you some links in the video description. One, you'll be able to check for pricing and availability on one of these at any of our Jayco stores. You'll have actual pricing right on our website. We don't do hidden fees. You don't have to call and give us your blood type and your credit score just to get a price figure. It's right there. Secondly, I'm gonna look up a whole bunch of other brands that make this floor plan. I'm gonna leave you links to the full videos that I've done on those, and that way you can kind of compare them and see which one might be a little bit better for you. And if you appreciate how we're putting in all the effort here for you, hit that subscribe button, like our video, and I'll see you the next time. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.